Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our Heavenly Parent Holy Community Oceania Hundoke, together with Rev Yutaka Yamada. Today is Monday, the 13th of January 2025, or the 14th of December in the 12th year of Chongyol. So thank you all for coming, and let's begin with a bow to our true parents of heaven, earth, and humankind. Chandi Champuninge Kambai. Paro. And let's recite our family pledge, both in Korean and English.
가존맨세 8. 천일국 주인, 우리 가족은 참 사랑을 중심하고 천일국 시대를 맞이하여 절대 신앙, 절대 사랑, 절대 복종으로 신의 일제의 쌍을 이루어 지산천국과 천산천국의 해방권과 속방권을 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다.
Family pledge number 8. Our family, the owner of Chongyol, pledges, having entered the era of Chongyol, to achieve the ideal of God and human beings united in love through absolute faith, absolute love, and absolute obedience, and to perfect the realm of liberation and complete freedom in the kingdom of God on earth and in heaven by centering on true love. I'd like to ask Chris Bruce if you could offer the opening prayer, please.
Let's join me in prayer. Good morning, Heavenly Parents and true parents. Father, we want to join here with you this morning to invite you into our life for this day. Try to connect more to our true parents, to be able to do more than we did yesterday, be better than we were yesterday. Just little by little, as you guide us through this life, we really want to embrace this life of no shadows that our true Father has entreated to us, and we hope we can be able to do that and just go forward now with you through this day. Thank you now in the name of Chris and Debbie Bruce and his family. Arjun.
Let's give a warm welcome to Rev Yutaka as he shares this morning.
Good morning, brothers and sisters. Thank you for joining today's morning. Okay, today is the Monday, the beginning of the week. Let's put our chanson and heart and offer the victory to our heavenly parent and true parents. In Australia, we concluded the second generation youth workshop and the children workshop yesterday. And myself will go back to Sydney today. And also our missionary and Reverend John will go back the day after tomorrow. So I really appreciate everyone, your chanson, support and love. So they are so much inspired. They had also a great time. So thank you, everyone. So end of this month, 28th January, we'll have a PCLC online fellowship. So Mother is emphasizing about the Christianity, essence of Jesus Christ, and also will of our heavenly parent. This is also a good opportunity. Let's share and let's invite our Christian pastor, congregation, and brothers and sisters. Will also support this PCLC online fellowship. Okay, so this one last week photo, because those photos are missed. I'll share this one. The New Zealand, thank you for New Zealand to attend the Chonshimon prayer last Friday. And also Palau side, thank you also for joining continuously for Chanshimon prayer, Chanson condition. And this is from Solomon Island. Now Solomon Island started the construction for the 6 classrooms. So this was a special mother's support. And now they are preparing and they are targeting to complete this building is around end of March. So let's also pray and support to build the new additional extension school classrooms. So those things are going on well. Okay. So thank you. There are many kind of providential things, especially now is the beginning of the month and year. Let's plan well. Targeting of the entrance ceremony of the Chonongun and Chonri Sanctum, how we will prepare that. And also furthermore, how we can fulfill God's will. And also Mother emphasized the responsibility of all blessed family as the chosen people, how we will fulfill these things. This is also essential things. Let's also think and prepare. Okay, so thank you for joining today. Let's start our Hundok. So today's message is from Chon Sung-gyeon, the meaning of death. So now we are talking about death or spiritual world. But regarding the spiritual world, it is also spoken of deeply in the word rather than explained extensively. So I hope we can also move forward and learn well with a good understanding of those 3 parents' words. Okay, so Mrs. Na, please.
Since human beings were born from the world of spirit, they have no choice but to return to the world of spirit. The Korean word toraganda, to die, to return, is interesting. To where are we returning? It is not to a cemetery. It is to our place of origin. We did not begin life in a cemetery. The word implies crossing the vast expanses of history, even beyond its beginning point. It does not mean to return as a Korean, even if one was born a Korean. A Korean who dies does not return on that path as a Korean. We return to the original world that brought forth the ancestors of humankind. It means returning to the place where the Creator is. Since that is where we originated, it is to there that we return.
Yes, thank you. This is amazing words. Toragada. So, do you know the Korean words or do you speak Korean well? If you can speak Korean well, you can understand this meaning of the Toragada. So already Father is also explaining. Toragada meaning is, for example, I will go back home now, or I will go back to school now. That time they will use Toragada. I Toragada to school. I Toragada to my home. I Toragada to my family. So this using Toragada meaning is to return, but when people die, they also use this person die, meaning this person Toragada. So we could say whether they understand the existence of spiritual world or not, they are using this word Toragada, kind of the double meanings. So we could say a Korean word has those fundamental or deep meanings. So Father is also explaining continuously. Please.
If someone died of old age, the Korean expression is that that person returned. When someone asks about our deceased grandparents, we say they went back, don't we? To where did they return? They went back to the spirit world. Since we originally come from the incorporeal world, God, the incorporeal world is our original homeland. From the incorporeal world, we come to the corporeal world, multiply on this earth, and then return to the incorporeal world. This is the path by which we go back. We originate from the incorporeal world, father, then we are born through our corporeal father and mother, and we live in the corporeal world. Later, we discard our physical body, return to our original form, and go to the spirit world.
Yes. So this is really interesting word, returned or go back. Maybe many Korean people is using without any question. But when we talk in English, for example, my grandfather is sick now. That's why he will go back soon or he will return soon. If we listen in English, little bit strange, right? Almost he is getting old. That's why he will go back soon or he will return soon. But Korean word is using like this. He will go back. He will return soon. So really, through listening or thinking this point once again, we can also imagine go back, return. Where they go back? Where do they return? So behind of this explanation, there is also kind of a secret meaning. Return back, actually return back to God, return back to the original place. So Korean word is showing this kind of truth, even without teaching us. Please.
Once we are born, it is inevitable that we will die. But where do we go after death? We do not dissipate like smoke. We go to the spirit world. When we go to the spirit world, we will find there is a territory there. Who then is the owner of the spirit world? It is God. Therefore, we should become the sons and daughters of God. If we do not become God's children, we cannot enter heaven.
Yes, after dying, where do we go? We will go back to the God's place as the children of God. So Father said, who then is the owner of the spirit world? It is God. Therefore, we should become the sons and daughters of God. If we do not become God's children, we cannot enter heaven. So if we cannot become God's children, if we want to go back to the God place, but we cannot go back to the God's place. Please.
You may not know the reality of the heavenly world, but I do. I enjoy a spiritual gift from God, giving me clear insight into that unknown world. Digging into the root of that world, I found its principles to be quite simple. Only those who live for others in line with God's universal principles, that is, who live for the sake of the original ideal, can enter that world. The world that is structured along those lines is the ideal heavenly kingdom. It is the original homeland that humankind should seek. We are fallen human beings exiled from our original homeland, but we are destined to return. Nonetheless, because we cannot return through our own efforts alone, God had to set up a specific path through the course of history by which we can return.
Yes, thank you. Father said, I found its principles to be quite simple. Only those who live for others in line with God's universal principles, that is, who live for the sake of the original ideal, can enter that world. The world that is structured along those lines is the ideal heavenly kingdom. So who can go to the kingdom of heaven? There is the universal principle. We should live for the sake of others in the line with God's universal principle. So that what meaning it is. We have to become God's lineage and we will go to the spiritual world. So we have to think this point again and again. Now many religion or many people is talking about kingdom of heaven. So if you believe Jesus Christ, or if you do good things, you will go to the kingdom of heaven. So we heard those kind of words many times. But what is more detail or fundamental things? This will be connected the issue of the lineage and also issue of the original sin. So who is teaching clearly the principle or rule or regulation to go to the kingdom of heaven? This is our true parents. Please.
Going to the world of God's love. Whether we know it or not, we are headed for a certain destination. We are getting closer both when we are moving and when we are resting. Not just you, but also this people, this world, and even heaven and earth are headed there. This is an undeniable fact. Where will you go after you have lived through this life on earth? This is an important issue that everyone needs to resolve. Religions have mobilized to resolve this issue, as have philosophies and history itself.
Yes, this is very interesting things. Father said, whether we know it or not, we are headed for a certain destination. We are getting closer, both when we are moving and when we are resting. Not just you, but also this people, this world, and even heaven and earth are headed there. This is an undeniable fact. So what kind of things he's talking about? This is time. So this time flow is like a river. Time was given or is given to everyone equally. Doesn't matter your races, your culture, nationality, or your ages. This time was given for everyone equally. Who can against this the flow of the time? No one can against or can go back or can reverse the flow of the river of the time. There is flow, meaning is there is starting point and there is also ending point. And there is also the destination. So Father is also clearly talking that we are headed for a certain destination. This is also the interesting things. From today to tomorrow, from tomorrow to next week, this flow of the time is continuing now. Please.
You too cannot deny that this destiny completely captivates you and pulls you along. Whether you can resolve this issue in your mind or not, you are destined to go. This body will see its end and be buried in the ground at the time of our death. Yet will this mind, this life, this heart, these thoughts, and even this hope be buried together with your body? A person who is unaware of this and who has not resolved this in his or her mind with a clear view of his or her purpose will surely suffer misfortune.
Yes, thank you. This is also the fundamental matters. Do you know your future? Do you know what kind of things will be happening in your future? I can predestine for your life. Do you believe that? True parents is clear said. Surely you will die in the future. Is that correct or not? This is the absolute truth. Whoever, even we are, or even you are, what kind of person, but 100% you will go to die someday, right? This is the absolute truth and also predestined, and surely this will be happening. So the parents is clearly mentioning these things. Doesn't matter any kind of person, but 100% people will going to be die, and the people die and go to the spiritual world. please.
If God is the parent of humankind, what does that tell us about how and why he created us? When the God of love created us, we started out from the place where he had us participating in his love. It is our path of life to start out from the heart of God. We are to grow up in the embrace of his love, reach maturity, and form a family in God's love. We are to become mature people who can develop our love to a global level on earth and finally return to the embrace of his love.
Yes, Father is talking about God's creation. God didn't create human beings just as the disappearing existence, but he created human beings as the eternal existence. We started from God's love, and we will return back to the God's love place. Please.
Because we are spiritual beings, our life is eternal. Why have some people practice loyalty before heaven? Walking the way of death of heaven with hope in their hearts, though they followed a path many would not have wanted. They have done so because they felt something that ordinary people could not feel. They knew heavenly values that ordinary people did not know. It was for that reason that they could tread even the path of death. You may encounter adversity or sadness in your course of life. Unless your mind becomes stronger than death, you will inevitably feel regret when you face death and retreat from pain and sorrow.
Yes, he's talking about the spiritual life and the eternal life. Please.
You are born from your father and mother, but where do you come from fundamentally? You come from God. You are born through your father's seed and your mother's womb. Yet your mother and father did not create you. You were born so that you could seek out parents that are true parents. You need to find true parents through the universal parent and through your natural parents. That is why the moment of your death is a time of jubilation when you go to meet your true parents. There you will find the true love of true parents. This is the spiritual kingdom of heaven, a place made up of love. It is a place abundant with the love of the true parents.
Thank you. Where are we heading now? This is the true parents. I believe this is maybe talking about more like heavenly parent, beyond our physical parent. We are started from original parent. That's why we are seeking the original parent, heavenly parent, and also Father talking about true parents, and return back to the place where true parents is and our heavenly parents is. So this is the spiritual kingdom of heaven, a place made up of love. It is a place abundant with the love of true parents. We are going that place. Please.
That love is a love based on the principle of service and sacrifice, in keeping with absolute law. To become eligible to stand for the test, you have to love the universe. Your life on earth is the training ground for you to love humankind and the examination room. This is the basis of the universe. If you undergo such experiences and live with such love during your life on earth, meeting the standard, then when you pass on, you will surely come into the presence of God.
Yes, so Father is talking about this is one kind of the regulation or meaning of the life on this earth. So Father said, your life on earth is the training ground for you to love humankind and the examination room. This is the best basis of the universe. If you undergo such experiences and live with such love during your life on earth, meeting the standard, then when you pass on, you will surely come into the presence of God. Where is our direction or destiny? Destiny is to go back to the God place. But if we don't do anything, then just die, then can we go to God place or not? We have to gain the victory, the life on this earth. So Father is explaining this life on this earth is kind of the training ground, and we have to pass the exam to love people and to love God. So this is also easy explanation. This explanation is easy, but how to pass or not, this is also important issue in our life. Please.
People aspire to resemble God. God's plan is to enable us to resemble Him. We therefore need to be reborn into a form that can resemble God. Both we and God eagerly await such a day. The day of our death is the day of our birth as such people. Therefore, should we welcome death or not? We should welcome it. When we are asked what we are dying for, we should answer, I am dying for the sake of God's true love. Accordingly, we discard our physical body so that we can participate in the realm of activity of God's infinite love, and for the sake of the world of God's love.
Yes. So what is the meaning of this? Father is also explaining. Let's see in the next page, please.
To die means to be born into a state of being enveloped in God's love. However, in this world, people protest saying, oh, I'm dying. The moment you transition through the point of death is a moment of your second birth. You can experience the joy of leaving the realm of limited love and of entering the realm of infinite love. You cannot establish a relationship with God unless you liberate yourself from the fear of death.
Yes, thank you. What is the meaning of death? That means to be born in front of God. So Father said, the moment you transition through the point of death is the moment of your second birth. You can experience the joy of leaving the realm of limited love and of entering the realm of infinite love. So this is the concept. What kind of concept or understanding do we have about death and also spiritual world? And how much do we understand the direction or destiny of our life? So accepting or not, understanding or not, then our life itself will be totally changed. What's the Father's explanation? Dying moment or moment of dying is the second birth and joyful moment or exciting moment. So do we have this kind of concept to accept to die as the exciting or joyful moment or not? So this is also not simple issue, but how can we understand this original fundamental truth or not? Please.
Human beings inherit a purpose for their life, but then they live for different purposes. For what reason are you asked to love the Lord your God with all your heart, and with all your soul, and with all your strength, and with all your mind? Matthew 22:37. It is so that you can become God's child. Therefore, you should be willing even to risk your life to love God. This is what we are meant to do. So we cannot go and die in the lowest of places. Instead, we need to die in the highest place. We should die centering on the heavenly kingdom.
Yes. Human beings inherit a purpose for their life, but then they live for different purposes. So this is important. we are having the clear purpose, or God gave us the clear purpose, but people, or we don't know, we don't recognize this clear purpose. That's why each person are just living for some purpose which they believe. Surely on this earth, each of us has been given some role and mission, or kind of the responsibility or things to do. But along with that, there is a fundamental purpose and direction. So the question is whether we know it or not. Are we preparing for it and living for it, or are we not? This become a significant or important issue. Please.
We should die in the one and only heavenly kingdom in heaven and on earth. Even in dying, there is a proper method and a proper place. The usual Korean way will not suffice. You need to die in the highest position, centered on the nation of God's heart, which passes through heaven and earth. You need to die at the very center of the heavenly kingdom. Your death should be such that the universe welcomes you with flags flying.
Yes, even in dying, there is a proper method and proper place. So do we know this point? So this is the final slide, please.
A person who lives cherishing heaven's hopes can joyfully surmount even the peak of death, which is otherwise an object of grief. That is why, when you face death, you should not have resentment nor grief over things of this world. Instead, you should rejoice and stand before heaven, speaking boldly of the value of your death. God is looking for such sons and daughters of hope. God cannot help but love a person who feels heaven's joy in such a situation. If there were a throng of such people raising their voices to heaven, God could not help but answer their cry.
Yes, thank you. So, what do we see in our life, and what for do we live on this earth? Do we understand the fundamental starting point of our life and the final point of our life? Do we know God and heavenly parents or not? This point we should think once again. When we see the newspaper, yesterday also in the Sunday service time, we share, and the President Son also share that. We know there are so many issues in even the Korean politics. Do you know these things, right? And I think each nation have many issues. And even our relationship, there are so many issues. People doubt each other, or many problem. Even people try to drag people down, or try to accuse, try to make problem, those even among us. Then what is the mother's strong message? Mother said, there are so many problems because they don't know our heavenly parent. They don't know our true parents. We have to tell clearly, we have to testify clearly about heavenly parent and true parents. So among the people on this earth, how many people could really understand our God? And also, how many people could understand the existence of spiritual world or final destination of our life? So please imagine that there are so many struggling or conflict on this earth, but if they know clearly the existence of the spiritual world or regulation or principle of living on this earth in order to go to the kingdom of heaven, then do you think that their life will be continue the same way or not? So before we judge the people, how do we understand the God's will or even the meaning of our life. That's why before we judge another people, actually, we know ourselves. This is true or not. We can judge myself through this understanding. Are we doing the right life or not? So once again, what is the mother's message? Mother said, please testify, heavenly parent and true parents, and please let them know existence of spiritual world. If really we know the existence of spiritual world, then automatically we know how we should live, how we should judge, how we should decide in this place now. So we are really, once again, this message should be emphasized to myself, to ourselves, and to the people. Then this also can help to create the ideal world. So today's spiritual world message about the spiritual world is important, and directly this can become the method for solving the many kind of problems. So let's also pray in front of God and sincerely see ourselves and to live honestly and really return the happiness to heavenly parents and true parents. So today is also a beautiful, great moment. Let's do our best and create a beautiful time. So thank you for joining today's morning K. Have a great day. 감사합니다.
감사합니다. Thank you very much, Rev Yutaka, as always, to share with us and to help us begin the day focused in the correct way. Just reflecting on this message. We all know that we're going to die. We all know that the body will end and that our spirit will go to the spiritual dimension, and that understanding of returning home. We all sort of recognize that. But I was thinking more about returning home. That Korean word, what was it? Toraganda. Toraganda. That word of returning home, just going home, and how you were expressing that. That's just sort of like a regular word. That people, they're at school and they're just going to go home. They're at work, they're just going to go home. They're out, somewhere, in the evening. Let's say in a restaurant, they're going to go home, and then they use the same word for returning home when we pass. But then I was, realised that, well, when I'm at school and I return home, or I'm at work and I return home, I actually know where the home is. I don't have any confusion or doubt. I mean, kids at school are taught, to know their home address or know their phone number, because if they get lost, that's how they go home. But I realised because of the fall, we don't even know where home is, because of the ignorance that the fall has caused. I mean, it's we this training on earth, to learn the principle in some way is also to learn the address of our home, the phone number of our home, who our parents are, what their names are. Because I remember, little kids, you would have to, if they got lost, they would have to, and then they met, some policeman, or if they were in danger, that don't go with a stranger. I mean, just go to where and so learn all of these things, of your identity. And so this is my name, this is my address, this is my home. And so the police know how to take you there, because they're trusted and recognized as someone that can help you go there. But actually, the fall really confused everything, really screwed everything up. We don't really know where home is. We do now, because we're blessed, and we've been learning from our true parents and having experiences with God. But the world, still the majority of people don't know where it is. And so when we pass or when we die and we don't know where our home is, we're just wandering around, sad and looking for our home. And so it's really, lucky for us to be having this understanding from our true parents about God, and that God is, where we will return home, and that may be like children who, oh, I know who my mum and dad is, but when someone says, well, where do you live and how, then you don't know. So really, our training is really to learn many things. What we are doing. Why aren't we at home already? Why haven't we got that connection already? I mean, we're all just sort of lost. I don't know if you've had the experience of being lost, or the experience of, your children are lost and you have to find them, or the experience of being the lost child. Maybe we've had all of those experiences. I think I've had all of those experiences, being a lost child and having a child lost, and being lost, and then trying to find out. When I was bushwalking one time, I was lost for 3 days in the bush, with another guy that was panicking about how do we get back. And then, anyway, circumstances enabled us to calm down and to think clearly, and then we found our way out. But I think going home is great, but if we don't know where it is, that makes it really sad. So I think part of our life is to help, since we know God's heart and true parents' heart, and have received the blessing, to help others find where home is, so that they can go home. Anyway, so that's some thoughts I had this morning in relation to that. So thank you, and open it up to others who'd like to share. Thank you. Yes, Greg, go ahead.
Yeah. Hello, good morning. Yeah, thank you, Reverend John and Reverend Yutaka, for coming to Melbourne and that wonderful workshop. And really appreciate all you do. Yeah, I was talking with a brother, and about us being born, how we're born, and he was saying, and it said in this verse, this passage that we just read, that God is our creator, that God created us. Like we come from our parents, but God was the original creator. So he was saying, I think our image, because we're all individual, and there's no one who's alike somebody else, because we're original people, then that image was in God in the beginning, and through our parents, their genetics and their DNA, that we're born. So I thought that's incredible, that maybe like God had the image of us in his mind, in his inner sungsang. I think the unification thought says, in his inner sungsang, God had the ideal of us, and then we came through our parents and were born in that way. And then I was also thinking about death, like as we're returning, like I was once asked to give a prayer at an ascension of a blessed child. And I was very upbeat, and I was sort of kind of trying to make it joyful. And I was thinking, but yet father, a true father and true mother, they cried when Hyojinim died, like there's tears coming down their face. So I'm thinking, well, if this is such a happy time, why would my prayers be happy at this Songwa ceremony? And then I realized, like, when you die, it's a lot, the people on the earth, still on earth, especially parents, they will feel this great loss of love that they had for this child, but also there's a question whether that child was ready to die. Was this the, was he prepared to die? So we've heard today about the preparation for death, which is like to go in a victorious way, not being afraid of death and having a kind of victorious life, and also like having hope that we're going back to the right place. So if that person dies without that kind of feeling, then it's not complete. Their death isn't, they're not ready for death. So the timing of the death is also important. Like we hear that some people go to the spirit world too soon, or they become like an offering sometimes, like surprisingly, that God calls them for some reason, and they make an offering for the providence. So I was thinking, oh yeah, this obviously this is why people are sad for those reasons at the time of death, because they're not ready, because it's the wrong time, because it's the loss of those around them who love them, and other reasons. But it's great to hear, that God created us, so that probably in his mind he had the already image of some of us, and that we came through our parents' genetic material. Great. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Greg.
Thank you.
You. Yes, Mr. Wright, go ahead.
Yeah, I just say thanks. Yesterday, we attended graduation yesterday and completed 1 week, beginning of the 2025, and had a very busy schedule ahead of us, and it was wonderful. Children and youth workshop. I think quite many people involved at the graduation. That Daniel, talked thanks to everyone, and actually for youth, like Cassie or Carlos is really involved, and also this is one of the Melanie is really organized all. Really thanks to really Melanie, and even quite many, Chris, Ang, Jacinta, Tsuneko, so Debbie, everyone is a support, but also even the second J, Sarah came, and Ian also attend. It's some, and really, I think also at the testimony time, it's like, kids really, try to express their enjoy, like a sport. Also, like a casting for the, for fishing rod. It is incredible. But overall, really, truly thanks. And Rev Yutaka, Rev John, it is incredible. Even today, Rev Yutaka taking missionary to, I think, Great Ocean Road. It's luckily today good weather, 28 degrees. And it's one of the best temperature. I think you can missionary. I think last day in Australia, so have a really good experience in Great Ocean Road, and yeah, really, we really felt really thanks. And like today, we learning a meaning of death, but I think for the kids, it's like a meaning of life. Something is don't think about death. Really, I think it was very good, and we are very happy and beginning for this year 2005. Yeah, then after I come back home, I get retired. Then what I can do myself, I was thinking. Then once answer came, yes, we love to other people. This is one of the, it's always direction come inside of me. Then just I received phone call from overseas. It's a young lady. Who are you? Miha. is somewhat Miha. He called me suddenly and from Japan, and she said that she's not visiting her husband's home, Hokkaido, 20 days, like in the beginning of year. Then she met one of the family, Japanese husband, Mr. Abe. Then wife is Diane from New Zealand. Is living in Hokkaido. The 6 children they have. Then one of son stay in Sydney. His name is Toshimi. Then he's doing a chef. He likes to cooking fish. So then Misha asked me to contact him somehow because he's not contact church. Yeah, then last night I called him. Then no answer. Then I sent the message. Then just I find out now he back to his answer. He said, "Sorry, I could not contact you, but thanks." He contacted me, and I would like to contact you any day. Like that kind of answer. Then I really felt like Miha. I think 20 days stay Hokkaido. Then after back to Tokyo near Tsukiji, she is going to study master degree herself. And at that situation, she's really thinking for the other people. I was really amazed and really that kind of heart. Think about other, really contact overseas and asking other people to contact. That kind of heart, that is one of the loving other people, care other people. Miha, incredible. And anyways, thank you. I think I will talk to Reverend John, more content, the person name. I'll give information later. Yeah, that's all. Thanks.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Rowe. Thank you. And Reverend Kenji, yes, hello.
Okay, good morning, everybody. Yes, thank you for the today's conduct as a kind of Traganda. It's a very unique the Korean word, which the kind of reflects the heavenly tradition, and that's also the remind me of the very unique word, the Hananim, the God. It's a very unique in Korean word. Hananim, it's the God, just one being, God. And also the reflecting upon the words this morning, really a matter of preparation. Is it's a matter of preparation. So preparing for the new life. That's the this for us to go to the next world, and for the baby is actually what to share this morning is that for sake of the community, our second son's family, Corin's and Mrs. family, got the first child, the third gen child, baby, yesterday, safely, and both of them are very fine. And so thank you for the prayer behind for the New Zealand communities, and also all the communities. Anyway, just we got the one more plus as a membership. Good point. Anyway, thank you for the this community to really grow vertically and horizontally. Thank you very much. Just what I have
Thank
to
you.
say.
Yeah, thank you very much, and congratulations on birth and being a new grandfather. Yeah, thank you. It's time now for us to offer our unison prayer, so I'll just bring up the screen. Thank you, and let's pray together. Jew, Jew, Jew. Thank you, everyone. Thank you again, Rev Yutaka, and I hope everyone has a great day and see you all again tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good day.
Thank you. Have a great day.